Hello everyone and welcome back to another random installment of one of my videos. Today we're going to be looking at the ESO Crownstore, okay? I mean, every game nowadays has some sort of shop for monetizing items, ESO is no different, And obviously, the Crownstore is where people go to buy items and stuff, so that way they can become better at the game. I mean, why else do you think people buy this silly looking outfit? Anyways, in this video, I want to go over the Crownstore and try and dissect it. You're probably like, why in the world are you making a Crownstore video? Ugh, you just kind of stupid. Because it is probably scary how much each of us, if we've played ESO for a long time, have spent on the Crownstore. We've probably spent way too much on it. And I want to go in and I want to look at the values of the items and I want to compare and contrast to see if things are actually worth it. And I understand value is subjective to different people because maybe there's an item that you really, really want and you'll pay anything to unlock it, or, you just don't care about cosmetics, you could care less about looking cool, you just want to play the game and have fun, but you still need access to like a skill line or something. So is it worth your time to go and grind out the skill line for like 3 or 4 days, or you just buy it for like maybe 30 bucks in the Crownstore? That kind of stuff. It's important to make good decisions with your money, especially because there's more important things that it could be going towards. So we're going to look at these things, and I'm going to make a video out of it because I can. So yeah, let's do it. So first things first, let's actually look at the Crownstore in-game. So when you log on to ESO, you're greeted with this screen. This is where Zenimax shoves in your face the limited edition items in the Crownstore, along with the purposefully smaller tabs of your daily login reward and any events that may be currently going on. If you click on any item in the big tab above, you will immediately be transported to the subject of today's video. And to start, I'm going to show you things in the Crownstore that you should never, ever spend your crowns on. Okay, first off is this unholy trio of starter packs. You can find these in the special offers tab, and they are not special offers as they never go away, even if you hit in-game. Never buy any of these. Even if you are brand new, you can easily get everything you need within the first hour of gameplay without needing to buy any starter packs. The only thing I would recommend buying from this tab is any race, any alliance. This pack is well worth what it gives you, especially if you plan on playing this game long term. But I just remembered that I said I'd be going over stuff that you shouldn't buy, so, Next item you should never ever buy unless you have money that you want to throw away are crown crates. This is Zenimax's big money maker. This is ESO's gambling system, and the odds are so heavily stacked against you that it's not worth buying crown crates unless you can actually afford to lose. Yes, I and many others have bought crown crates before, and it is not something that we are particularly proud of, but, crown crates are where Zenimax keeps the coolest cosmetics, and I'll talk about crown crates a little bit more later on in the video. Next never buy thing is the bag and bank space upgrades. These are actually just highway robberies and are never ever worth buying under any circumstance. You can easily buy bag space upgrades by opening up your map, going to any major city, and then looking for this icon that says Pack Merchant. The cost of upgrading your bag in-game with gold is horrendously cheap compared to how many crowns it would cost to upgrade your bag space. And before you ask, no, these upgrades do not carry across to all of your characters. Just the characters that bought the bag space. So never buy bag space. And never ever buy bank space either. You can easily buy bank space upgrades with gold at the Vanker for really, really cheap. And those are just not worth buying at all. Next, never ever buy the werewolf or vampire bites and their respective skill lines in the Crownstore. This is a scam too. You can easily ask someone in zone chat to get a bite for free, or join a Discord or a guild and ask someone there for a bite. And leveling those skill lines is very, very easy. These are not worth buying, and same with the cure. Don't ever buy the cure. You can easily get cleansed at any of those weird shrines. Just look it up on the internets. Next is the entire utilities tab. Don't go here. Okay, just ignore everything in this tab. Nothing in here is ever worth buying, ever. And if you really, really, really want to respec your character for whatever reason, you can go and pay like 5 gold to fix your character at a shrine in any of the main cities. This tab should just be renamed to the scam tab. It's only ever useful on the PTS. Oh, and real quick, there are literally no differences between the crown soul gems and regular soul gems. They do the exact same thing regardless of level, and you will end up never needing soul gems in the in-game anyways, because you get so many of them. Now, the next thing that I personally would never buy are the research scrolls, simply because you get a lot of these through daily rewards, and the price for what you get out of them is really, really high. And the same would go for the motifs as well, because you can easily just buy the motif style pages in the Guild Trader, or you can easily find them in-game if you look hard enough. And I just wouldn't recommend buying any of these because it's just kind of a waste of money. And the final thing that I would never, ever, ever recommend buying are the dyes. These can only be applied to your outfits, and the colors that you get cycle through every month, and they're literally just in-game dyes that you can earn, but you can apply them to your outfit. So maybe it's there for ESO Plus members. It's just don't buy these because it's not worth it. Even if they do have the special seasonal event dyes, you can't color lock them to like the thing at the top so you can apply them to your actual outfit. So it's just not even worth buying these. And yeah, don't waste your money on these. And now that we got all of those out of the way, I'm going to do the opposite and show you things that I would highly recommend that you buy if you plan on playing ESO for a long period of time. And the first thing would be the Any Race, Any Alliance pack. You really need this if you want to play with your friends in PvP, and also the additional stuff like race and name change tokens are sold at a huge discount with this pack, and I've personally bought this over again so that way I can get those tokens for really cheap. It's a really good buy. Next would be a banker, a merchant, and the rag picker. All of these are really good to have, especially when you're out and about in the world. They will allow you to adventure for much longer, and it's just very good to have these on hand. The final thing I'd recommend buying is the digital Imperial upgrade. This upgrade lets you play as the Imperial race, which, you know, is kind of a strong race, especially on Dragonite. But you don't have to get it, but if you're looking for one of the worthwhile buys that I'm recommending, this is definitely one of them. And those are my recommended buys. And yeah, I guess it goes without saying, you don't have to, but if you get if you plan on playing this game for a while, think about getting ESO Plus for like for how long you plan on playing it, because trust me, those benefits are well worth it. And you know, if your ESO Plus runs out and you happen to have been relatively responsible with your crowns, you can even buy the chapters you want to keep playing with the crowns that you got, and you can permanently unlock the chapter at that point. Though at this point, I think it would just be better to buy the entire collection edition of ESO, because that gives you the main chapter plus all the other chapters before that with all the fun stuff in them. So, okay, I've held off on this long enough. Let's talk about the crown crates. These are the loot boxes of ESO, and they tend to contain some of the most desirable cosmetic items. This is obviously on purpose because it gets people to spend copious amounts of money on gambling, RNG rewards that you have absolutely no control over. It's really up to you if you think crown crates are worth it. Like, you must absolutely have a specific crown crate item that you really want in order to be tempted to buy any of these crates. You can preview the crate items in the store to see what they contain, but do note the more expensive the gem cost, the rarer the item is to get, because most of the time in crown crate openings, you're going to be getting a bunch of useless poisons and some duplicate non-combat pets. And after my 7 years of playing ESO, I have never, not once, gotten any Apex rewards from these crates, and I've probably spent maybe like you didn't need to know that, but you know, I've maybe gotten like 5 actually good items, and those being the items that I was initially intending to open the crown crates to try and get. So that just kind of tells you the odds of what opening crown crates is like, and you know, they're like non-existent. And actually, they do have odds for the crown crates, which I don't know how accurate they are, but apparently you have a 98% chance to get a common reward. I love how they're called rewards. 72% chance to get a fine reward, 86% chance to get a superior reward, 21% chance to get an epic reward, 14% chance to get a legendary reward, and a 2% chance to get an apex reward, which has like maybe like another 2% chance to become a radiant apex reward. So how exciting, you know? And the total percent chance of this is 293%, which means absolutely nothing. So, you know, let me translate this into something that you can understand. So 99% of the time, you're going to get a common item. A crown soul gem, a couple of poisons, and that sort of stuff. And 0.04% of the time, you'll get a fine item. 0.02% of the time, you'll get a superior item. And 0.01% of the time, you'll get an epic item. You have a 0.00001% chance to get a legendary item, and a 0% chance to get an apex item. Now, you know, you may have noticed that doesn't quite add up to 100%. Well, it doesn't add up to 100% because the original doesn't add up to any divisible percentages. So, yeah, I can do that because I can associate this kind of value with it, however I feel like it, okay? So, safe to say the odds are never in your favor, and this is, of course, on purpose. So then you may be wondering, how do I get my beloved item that I really want from the crown crates? Well, you can convert all the common potions and items that you got into gems. And when you get a duplicate, you also get gems. These gems you can use to buy whatever item you want. You know, if you get enough gems, you can buy that item that costs like 100 gems, which you have to buy a lot of crates to get enough gems for that. Or you can grind away for 3 years until you finally get enough Seals of Endeavor to buy the item that you want, which is on purpose, of course, because they want it to take an abysmal amount of time to collect enough Seals of Endeavor, so that way, you know, they can make more money. You know, only buy crown crates if you can afford it. And one final thing, I did some conversions to find the real world value of a crown gem, and 15 Seals of Endeavor, or a daily quest. Now, of course, if you live outside the US or Canada, the prices of this stuff in crown stores is like 22% cheaper than what it costs if you live in the US or Canada. So I guess have fun with those discounts. But since I live in the Americas, this is the conversion rate for each of those to the US dollar. So 15 Seals of Endeavor, aka 1 daily quest, is worth 5 cents. 1 crown gem is worth 25 cents. And a single crown is worth a penny, or 1 cent. There are probably some give and take here, but this is the average price per unit of the Crownstore's currencies to real world monies that I came up with when I was doing my maths. So yeah. Those housing nerds live in real world mansions because they could spend $130+ on an in-game house. I mean, you gotta be smart about how you spend your money, especially with ESO. I did not talk about any mounts and outfits because you can buy those if you want, but with the currency conversion, you can see that most of those items you're paying $10 for an outfit, sometimes $30, and $30 for mounts. And $30 per a mount and an outfit, I really don't think so, you know. Anyways, I hope this video can help you navigate the store better and keep you from making stupid purchases. Most of the useful things in this game, though, are just Zenimax selling you a solution to a problem that they made, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, don't let this video stop you from buying something that you really want to have, but just use your brain in advance when you're trying to figure these kind of things out. And, yeah, this is an outro. Stay in school, kids. Drugs are bad, and, subscribe. Yeah. Take care, everyone, and have a good night.